Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am back with an energy update. So, looking at the world scene over the past couple of days, I think we all recognize that things are starting to shift rather quickly. The message that I've been getting is that this is Ragnarok. And Ragnarok is a concept, it's a myth that comes from Norse mythology. And it's really talking about the events that happen that ignites the changing of the eras. It's a time when the old gods begins to fall and the old empires begin to fall, and life as we know it will change and shift radically. So that's what I feel is starting to happen now. So let's just digest this a little bit. Let's go into it a little bit and see and try to understand what we can expect. So let's try to look at this from an individual perspective first. If you think about yourself, this might be true for a lot of you, that you feel that you have not really been able to manifest your full potential. You might feel that the life that you've been living up until this point have been a series of acts. You know, you've played out specific roles, but maybe you feel that neither of these roles, these acts that you've been taught, have been able to represent who you are truly and fully. For many of us, I think that we feel as if we've been living with these masks our entire life. And the way that we will begin to feel this new time, this Ragnarok, is that due to the events, the falling of our societies in different ways, we will actually be given more and more time, more and more room and space to begin to play out our true selves. It's almost as if for many of us, we were made for this time. You know, this is when we come into ourselves. This is when we are able to manifest our truth, you know, to manifest the truth of who we are, what we came here to do. And so for many of you, this is actually a time that is, it might feel like a stark contrast in regards to what is happening on the world scene. Because what we're witnessing when we're looking at these big events is that we are witnessing the falling of certain gods. You know, take Putin for instance. He is a man that seems to only really value his own mind. You know, he doesn't really, it's almost as if the people that live on the ground, the small people, to him, their feelings, their lives, they don't even exist in his mind. You know, what he sees is his vision, his will, his desires. He, to himself, he's like a god, and he has the right to do whatever he chooses to do because he is in this position and holds all of this power. And so these are the types that will begin to experience the falling, because within their mind, they give no significance to all of these millions of lives that do exist. They are blind to it, and so they kind of act as if that is not important. But like I said in the beginning, the times are shifting. We're moving into a time where all lives will be important. All lives on earth are important. All lives on earth will start to gain more and more value. They will start to gain their voices back. And so that is what these old gods, you know, these gods that have been so used to having all eyes on them, you know, they have been so used to being able to threaten people into silence. Their mind Their minds are not able to see, to predict this wave that is starting to build now. And so it really is like dramatic times. Let's pull some cards. Let's pull some cards and see if there's anything else that I'm going to include in this video. What do we need to know right now? What's important to know? 9 of Cups comes out. Underneath the deck is the King of Pentacles. And I'm also seeing the Hierophant. So, and Justice as well under there. So what I think is important is that we're moving into a time where, in a way, what we will be judged by, that's not exactly the right term, but it's the only way right now that I know how to explain it. What we will be judged by is the emotional state that we hold. It's almost as if the emotional state that we hold, we will attract the reflection of that in our external world. And so our emotional state, it depends a lot on the quality of these 2 characters within our own system. The Hierophant, it represents the Father. And at this point in time on Earth, a lot of us carry a lot of trauma around the archetype of the Father. We don't trust it. With good reason. You know, look at what's happening now. We don't trust the masculine authority. But that means if we have a trauma related to that, you know, if we don't trust masculine authority, it means that actually internally we have yet to have awoken that pure masculine light that can exist within us all. If we are deeply connected to a pure masculine authority within ourselves, then we will begin to receive the blueprints, the downloads from that type of authority. And so that will again then begin to kind of affect our emotional state. If we truly deeply feel within us that, you know, masculine authority can be good, you know, if we trust that it is possible, that it is going to emerge right now, and we really, really feel that, we feel that we're anchored onto that timeline, then that is kind of what we will also express in every moment of our day. You know, we will begin to affect people in that way. And when we get the chance, whether we're a female or a male, and we get the chance to play out the role of the Father, the light and pure masculine archetype, then we will take that chance and we will become that example. And through doing that, of course, then we will start to influence people, and we will attract more and more other people that also want to play out the pure, you know, version of the Father, of the light. And so these things, you know, they happen from within. We start to affect people from within. But first of all, I feel like it's important to learn how to connect with that healed version of these archetypes. If we continuously tie ourselves to times when the Hierophant was corrupt, then those are the blueprints we're pulling into our lives. You know, that's what we're feeding on. And so that's not to say to deny that and say that it never happened, but it's to have the ability to say that both can happen. You know, there are so many possibilities. All possibilities are possible, but this is my choice. You know, I choose this. This is what I would choose if my will was important. This is what I would choose. You know, the King of Pentacles, this is what I would choose. Your choice is important. So I think like it's a time really to also reflect on these archetypes, and particularly the archetype right now of the Father, you know, the God, the Hierophant. What does it mean to you? And do you have trauma still related to that that prevents you from linking up to the healed version of that archetype? Then we have the 10 of Swords and the 6 of Pentacles, and underneath the deck is the Death card. What I'm actually hearing with these cards is that this is the end of the equal give and take. You know, with the 6 of Pentacles. What we're experiencing now. It's like, I feel like we're moving into a time of separation. A lot of reactions are being made now. You know, reactions to what is happening with the way that Putin is invading Ukraine. A lot of Western countries are reacting to that. They're cutting off collaboration with Russian interests. And if you've looked at some of these things that they are thinking about doing, that they are planning to do, these are like severe things. You know, it's really like a 10 of Swords energy. It's like the end of collaboration. It's really taking the step to create a full-on separation. And the feeling that I've been getting is that this is what is going to change the economic system completely. You know, this is, I fear that this is the end of, this is the collapse I'm hearing of the economic system as we know it. And so I think that many of us that are intuitive, we've been feeling that this is going to happen, even though it seems so like obscured, it seems so weird, right? That how could it be that such a dramatic thing could happen? But again, what I'm feeling with this is that the importance to begin to prepare yourself for this falling, this grounding that we might experience now. And I also feel that with the King of Pentacles that came up before, this is a lot to do with learning how to collaborate with the earth. I've spoken about this before, you know, beginning maybe to think about how can you provide food for yourself, like how can you grow your own food if there are gonna be food shortages. How can you stabilize your foundation in ways that means that you can be independent and as self-sufficient as possible? You know, how can you maintain your, with the 9 of Pentacles, your health and maybe even in a way your emotional abundance, even if tough times were to happen? I feel that now is a really good period of time to really start to plan for that. And even if it doesn't happen, you know, even if things do not fall, then that knowledge of how to really care for yourself and collaborate with the earth can never be taken from you. You know, this becomes a part of your inheritance. You become grounded for life if you decide to invest into this path. And so I'm feeling again like this type of warning coming in, you know. Prepare to stand alone or with just few people, and how can you then still be able to provide for yourself, for your body, for longer or shorter periods of time. one more card and then I'll wrap it up. Seven of Pentacles. Underneath the deck is also the Knight of Cups. So I guess that kind of brings me back to the beginning. Like I said, for many of us, this period of time is actually going to be the awakening, you know, of who we truly are, of who we really are. It's going to be the time when we're able to manifest ourselves fully here on earth. That really comes through with the Knight of Cups. Hi there! Yeah, sorry. And so I also think that it's a time to really pay attention to the aspects within your life that are not yet growing. And I question whether, if you look at them and if you really consider, are these aspects potentially linked to some of these old timelines related to any unhealed karma of the father? You know, this God archetype, this like, I am everything, all eyes on me, you know? Because these timeline, what I'm getting with this is that these timelines are karmic timelines. They are going to start to be shed. That's also why they're being played out now on the world scene, because it's like we're going to see how these timelines are going to fall and be shed, and I'm hearing they're going to burn. And so we might as well, you know, if things are not naturally growing the way that we would expect them to, there might be some kind of karma there related to that corrupted Hierophant archetype. That's what I'm feeling. So I'm gonna end it there, guys. I hope that you're all staying safe, taking care of yourself, remaining grounded and as calm as we can right now. Yes, take care and goodbye for now.